Hey folks, Vince with Green Joe Coffee School. So today I wanted to take a little bit of time to go over some of the products and services that we offer. I mean, over the years, we started with just an ebook and our services and products have grown. And I just wanted to make a video that kind of tallied all that up so that people have an understanding on the full spectrum of what we have to offer. Now, I will start with the most supportive, which is also the most expensive, and work my way down to the least supportive and the least expensive. So no further ado, let's start breaking this down. Okay, so first up is Built by Green Joe. Now this is a beta program. It's a rollout that we're doing where we build streamlined coffee trailers for emerging entrepreneurs. And what does that mean? Well, first and foremost, it means that we're building fully equipped coffee trailers. They come with commercial espresso machines, grinders, generators, everything you need to run a coffee business, and that they 100% meet the code and regulations of your county. That's something that we absolutely guarantee. Our build-outs are taking roughly 2 months, and in that time, I'm meeting with the entrepreneur every other week, not just for updates, but also as a form of mentorship to guide them through the permitting process. So there's mentorship, fully equipped coffee trailer, and each one of our trailers comes with a coffee cart. I'll get more into detail about that later. So upon completion, then we spend 2 days on the trailer going over hands-on training. This is where I'm going to show you how to do menu development, my style in making the drinks, quality control, so that you can learn how to operate your coffee business. Again, so this is a beta rollout. We are still very much in the startup phase of this. The cost for this for our first 6 trailers are $35K. So $35K, you get the mentorship, the fully built out with equipment, as well as the on-job training. After the first 6, we're going to be moving those prices up to $40,000 a trailer. There is an asterisk for my homies in Cali. Unfortunately, the California code is a little tougher than everybody else, so we have to bump that price up an extra $6K for you good folks, and that's just because of those windows and the floors and the plumbing requirements that you guys need. Okay, so next up is consulting. So the consulting one, I don't have a lot of spots for that. And the reason why is because we're full with the build-up and the MasterClass, but we do have some spots available. What consulting is we join every other week. So every other week we meet for an hour and 15 minutes. It's a little over an hour. And during that time, the main goal is to help you launch your profitable business. Now, there's been different needs for different folks. Some folks that we really want to focus on business plan. That's one of the things to me I think every business should know. It's cost of goods, the startup costs and monthly expenses. So getting those spreadsheets knocked out. But also a lot of folks like to have a good marketing plan, branding. So all those things are included in the consulting. Metrics, I'm a big advocate of finding some good metrics, things that you should try to shoot for. Basically bank account, personal records, PRs. But those are all things covered in the consulting. The price for that every other week for 6 months is $23.99, and that's the way we break that up is $600 down, and then it's $299 a month after that. Next up is the 3-day intensives. The 3-day intensives are on-the-job training at the coffee school. So it is 3 days of 8+ hours where we are just skill and drill, hands-on training. Now that one goes over a lot. We start with backing the trailer up. We do generator overview, how to start it, opening procedure, closing procedure, drawing espresso shots, making the lattes, all the different traditional based drinks, all the different modern based drinks, how to do catering. So there's a lot in that. For full information on that, I would highly encourage going and taking a look at the curriculum. I have that on the website. So the cost for that is $24.99, and that one does come with accommodations. Basically, we just rent an Airbnb for the students, and everybody shares the Airbnb. Now, we are located in Albuquerque. Most Southwest is who typically flies, but also American Airlines. And for most people, it costs probably another additional $400 to $600 to get here, just depending on where you're flying from. Okay, so there is a combo of consulting plus the 3-day training, and that one goes for $38.99. So there's a little bit of a price break. It's actually quite a bit of a price break when you book the two together. Okay, so next up are our master classes. These are our 100% online courses. The first one is the Coffee Truck Master Class that goes over starting a business, LLCs, taxes, trucks, trailers, plumbing, electric, counters, floors, roofs, walls. I mean, it's just everything. Business plan, marketing plan, everything's in there. We do a one-on-one consultation when you first join in. We call it the on-ramp. And then afterwards, there's weekly meetings where you can check in, jump into those classes, ask questions as you go. Hey, what do you think about this espresso machine? Hey, what do you think about this coffee trailer? That one's a great program. The price for that one is 3 payments of $297. That one lasts for a year, but most people start their trailer in about 12 to 16 weeks. A couple questions that I get asked on that one is, when does that class start? That's a revolving class. We're all in different stages of build out, so it starts basically when you're ready. But I do have to limit it to 30 students per 12 weeks because of my capabilities. That's all I can personally handle. Okay, next up is the MasterClass for coffee carts. Now this is a new program. It's a beta program. Basically, it's the same concept as the MasterClass for coffee trailers, where we give you all the information that you need to know to build this thing out. But we also start off with an on-ramp consultation. We find out what your vision is, what your resources are, and match that up with a plan. And then weekly check-ins, just like the other MasterClass. And so that one is a little bit less expensive. It is 3 payments of $199, and you have access to that tool for a full year. But we're seeing coffee carts launch in about 8 weeks. Those ones are a lot faster to launch than trailers. Okay, so then we're getting into the digital downloads. So the first one to go over is the crash course. The crash course is basically my curriculum for the master class, but it's all in downloadable information. So you don't get the one-on-one support that you would get. You don't get the weekly check-ins that you would get in the master class, but it's also not as expensive. So the cost on that one is $299, and that one covers code and regs, coffee equipment, the build out, the floor plans, the plumbing, the electric, and also the business plan. So that's a really good way to go too. But again, that one's more for the do-it-yourselfer that doesn't require or doesn't want the support that you would get from weekly check-ins and consultation. Okay, and lastly is the ebooks. I got a bunch of ebooks out there, probably written about 10 so far, but there's 3 major ones I wanted to cover. The Ultimate Guide to Building Coffee Trucks. I would consider that a research ebook. It's really for people that are just starting in the beginning. They're trying to get the grasp on how this situation will work. Where do you source the bean for? What equipment am I going to need? What does it look like to go through the health department? What's the cost of goods? Projecting your startup costs. That's all in the Ultimate Guide. So it's a really good resource for research. There's also the Ultimate Guide to Building Coffee Carts. That one's a little bit more juicy. It's got some stuff like floor plans in there, some equipment recommendations. So it's a good book for launching a coffee cart. And then last is the business plan. And the business plan is, I wrote that 3 years into the making after I started my business. And so I had a lot of insight being able to write that one, which was great. And I hired a loan officer to walk me through that process. And so we wrote it in such a way that if you wanted to apply for loans, it's there, you can use it. But also it just puts in a lot of really good information on what I've learned over the years, how to do hiring and that type of stuff, how to penetrate a market. So that's also a really good source of information. So okay, well there you have it. All the things that we have to offer on Green Joe. But ultimately, that information's on the website, greenjoecoffeetruck.com. So feel free to visit that. My name is Vince. Thanks so much for tuning in.